Hey there everybody, it's Sean from Seattle Coffee Gear. Today we're going to go over 5 reasons why you should start brewing coffee at home. Before we get into all of that though, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We do lots of coffee tips and tricks as well as machine reviews so you can pick out the right machine for you. Alright, let's get going. One of the main things that I enjoy about making coffee at home is I really get to have the full experience myself. From the choosing the coffee, the measuring the dose, selecting the grind size. I love that entire process in the morning. Big reason number 1 why you should make coffee at home is the cost. I know that there is a lot of upfront costs in purchasing an espresso setup or a brand new drip coffee setup, but in the end, the numbers will work out in your favor. And to help you with that, I did a bunch of math to talk you through it. For a 12-ounce latte in a cafe, the national average is looking about $4. Living in the Seattle area, I think that sounds a little bit low, but this is according to Google, so it's official. So for starters, we're going to look at the cost of our coffee. I've selected a specialty coffee from Olympia Coffee Roasters. Their Big Truck Espresso sells for $18.50 for a 12-ounce bag. That's about 98 cents per 18-gram shot of that coffee. The next part to build our latte is the whole milk. These run about $5 per gallon, so for the 10 ounces of milk you need to fill your latte all the way up, that's going to be about 43 cents a drink. The other cost element, and this is the big one, is our espresso machine. At the time of making this video, the Breville Barista Express is selling for $6.99, and that's what I'm going to be using for the rest of my math. With all of those considered, doing the cost per drink and our fixed cost for our machines, we have a break-even point with our local cafe at 273 drinks or 9 months of 1 drink a day use on your machine. So long as you're taking good care of your machine, these machines are designed to last multiple years and will save you more and more money the longer you have them. And if you're making more than 1 drink a day, maybe for everyone in the household, or maybe you need that afternoon coffee, it will pay itself off sooner. And that doesn't even mention how much time you are going to save. The drive to the cafe, the waiting in line to order, the waiting to pick up a drink, not so with the machine at home. You get to walk right up in the comfort of your own home and brew your coffee right away. When it comes to making coffee at home, you get to determine what is correct. How much sugar do you like? Do you like your coffee with a little more bitterness or a little more sweetness? When you're not worried about the next 10 drinks in a queue or a set beverage standard and recipe that you have to follow, you get to really customize your experience and really enjoy your coffee. With that being said, I need a coffee, so we're gonna brew up my favorite drink that I have every day, an oat milk cortado. This is my favorite drink that I drink every day. Cortados for me just have this awesome intensity of espresso alongside that little bit of sweetness of milk. And when I'm making it for myself, I get to control things like the temperature of the milk. I'm not gonna burn it when I'm at home. On some days, I'll even add like honey or maple syrup to it to sweeten things up. Reason number 3 to brew coffee at home is you get to experiment. Figuring out how to improve your coffee, whether that's exact brew ratios that you're measuring with your scale, is 18 grams what you want, or do you want to go all the way up to that triple shot at 22 grams? The presentation from a bottomless portafilter, how it lets you see that even flow rate coming down and through. And if it is channeling on one side or another, you might use something like a WDT to even all of that out. The further you go into the coffee as a hobby, the more things that like maybe you'll do a small tweak here or a small tweak there to really find the joy and the craft and artistry of the experience. One big surprise for me when I was first experimenting with coffee and espresso is the WDT. I was using a manual lever machine at the time and having a whole bunch of issues with flow rate, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna use this WDT and figure it out, but they were too expensive, so I got a wine cork and paper clips, stirred up my coffee, and then had some of the worst channeling that I had ever experienced. It wasn't until when I used a real WDT with acupuncture needles where I realized that they needed to be a little bit finer to actually break up the clumps and correct the channeling that I was seeing. It's all in these like small little tweaks where I find a lot of excitement and joy in coffee. I love experimenting with coffee and just seeing what little changes make these sometimes really large impacts. I'd love to know what kind of experiments y'all are getting up to at home, whether that's a paper clip and a wine cork or any other fun coffee experiments you're trying out. Talking about all the experimenting of this, reason number 4 is coffee is a hobby that can really engage your interest and creativity. The ritual of coffee for me isn't just about drinking the coffee, it's about that entire preparation process. So getting it going and building that momentum really sends me forward through the rest of my day. Espresso or coffee as an entire hobby has so much to it. So as far as you want to go and get engaged, you can find more new things. There's always a new gadget, a new kettle, a new technique to try from one of the barista champions. I love trying out their recipes and seeing how well they work for me. And finally, item number 5, you get to be the best host and share coffee with your friends and family. My personal espresso machine is the La Marzocco Linea Mini, paired with a Eureka single dose grinder. I really love taking my guests through the whole espresso making process. We talk about each individual step as I'm doing it, and at the end, everyone has a latte to enjoy while we're hanging out on my porch. It's something that really just I love doing and getting to talk about and connect with my friends and family over a really nice cup of coffee. Through some coffee explorations and even in like pour over or French press, I've helped talk some of my friends into maybe improving their home game of coffee. I have people who used to go to cafes every single day, but then they realized that hand brewing coffee is super accessible. So they got a grinder, they got a V60 pour over, and they got a really nice kettle, and that's now their morning routine. And we actually talk about different single origin coffees that they're trying, or when they've gone down to Central America, what they've brought back, so that way we can share a cup of coffee and try all of that out. Those are my 5 reasons to start making coffee at home. If this is resonating with you, we'd love to help you find your machine, from a drip brewer, a pour over setup, or any kind of espresso machine. We've got a lot of options, and if it feels a little overwhelming right now, come chat with us in our retail stores or chat with us online. We're here to help you find something that works for you. Thank you so much for watching. In the description below, you'll find links to all of the products we featured, as well as a sign up for our email newsletter, which will keep you up to date on education content, coffee tips and tricks, as well as the occasional promotion we run. Be sure to like and subscribe, and keep making coffee you love.